Samara is in class and I don't want to disturb her. She's doing virtual school. So, oh my gosh. Let's talk about Epic. It's awesome and it's worth it. I don't know if you are in the groups that I'm in, but people are complaining about how nothing's working and it's not worth it and why are they charging? Okay. Give them grace, y'all. They are in a technical rehearsal. There are signs all over the park. Yes, spoiler alert. Samara and I were able to go to Epic. God, it feels like a dream, but it was almost 2 weeks ago now. It feels like a dream. Oh my gosh. And I have video and I will put more out about Epic. I didn't want to necessarily put my footage out until the official park opening, which is May 22nd. But I definitely want to talk about some of the stuff that's already out there. And I know the photo ban and video ban has been lifted, except for a few of the areas. When you walk around, there's some areas that are still under construction and they don't have those out there. But back to technical rehearsal. Samara is in a musical right now. She's Katie Heron in Mean Girls the musical, and they're in technical rehearsal this week because the play is this weekend. Let me see if I can actually sit in my gazebo. And of course, if you're in a technical rehearsal, like that's where you're working the bugs out. That's where everything is, you're trying to finalize everything. So, yeah, not everything is working, not everything is perfect. They don't have enough employees, team members, to even like open up all the restaurants. They're still training. Like, just give them grace. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to try not to mess this up. I know it's a little crazy. I'm going to keep talking. I did write notes because I don't want to ramble. And I want to be mindful of your time. Just sorry about the craziness here. I'm going to set up my tripod so I don't have to hold it the whole time. And we don't feel like the Blair Witch Project. But look at my yard. Oh, man. Sorry. Why is this not working? This is crazy. There we go. It's operator error. Thank you for hanging out with me. And honestly, I mean, I only have 200 people. 200. There we go. On my channel, so I don't even know if somebody's watching me and laughing at me. I bet it's Andrea, isn't it? It's Andrea, isn't it? So I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this, but I want to give you my thoughts. And I loved it. I knew from the beginning that Universal was going to knock it out of the park, and they did. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care if every ride is down. I still think Epic is worth it. I will get to that in a minute. I promise. I'm going to stick to my notes here. So give them grace, technical rehearsal, and, give them grace even after it opens. Like, there's going to be some stuff, I feel like Universal has finally leveled the playing field in Orlando. If you're familiar, and I did not look it up on the Universal app, but if you're familiar with Universal at all, the majority of their attractions and their lands, there's kind of this gap in the middle. You have stuff for little kids like Seuss Landing, which is so fun. You feel like you are in one of Dr. Seuss's books. But the rides, I mean, it's nothing exciting, right? They added DreamWorks Land they moved Shrek over, so they've got Shrek, and they've got the Troller Coaster, which used to be Woody Woodpecker. They have the Kung Fu Panda training camp, which we didn't get to see a lot of, but that used to be Curious George and the big playground and ball pit. We loved that. I really hope that Kung Fu Panda does more with that, but we haven't been back to check it out. Then you have the Minions Land, which is new, and that's fun. But that's kind of it for like little kids or younger kids. And the attraction types that they have are either those 3D, 4D motion things. So if you've been to Disney, I'm thinking Star Tours, even Soarin', it's like you have the screen and the movement, and you're in this contraption, and they're moving you in all kinds of unnatural ways, and that stuff makes me ill. I cannot do I can do one of those, and then I need to take a break. If I do two of them, I'm probably done for the day. I can do the roller coasters. I even did Stardust Racers, and I was so afraid, but I'm like, I'm gonna do it because I'm never gonna do it again. And I closed my eyes the whole time. But I'll tell you about that later. I wrote it. But you have those type of rides, and I'm talking about Universal Studios Islands of Adventure right now, if you're just tuning in. And I will call them Universal, and I will call it IOA because that's how we talk. So for future reference, if I say that, you know what I'm talking about. The other things that Universal has in both of those parks are thrill rides. When we had our passes in 2022, Jaden was not tall enough for 4 rides. I think he had to be 51 inches tall for Velocicoaster and Rip Ride Rocket, and he had to be 53 inches tall for Doctor Doom Fearfall, and 56 inches tall for the Hulk. He just made 56 inches less than a year ago now, so we took him back in the fall so he could ride that. So the majority of your rides fall in those categories. Your lands, you have Harry Potter and you have the Minions, but and the DreamWorks. But I don't feel like there's a lot of lands that little kids are going to appreciate besides, well, Seuss Landing. I mean, that's fun. Jaden loved the little playground area. And there is, like in Jurassic Park, there is a Jurassic Camp, which is another playground area. My kids loved to run around in that. But like the other rides that they could do, Men in Black, E.T., I took my kids on those and they were completely lost. Walking through Men in Black was just like the movie where you've got headquarters and you've got those strange aliens, manning the board. And I was laughing. They had little Easter eggs as you're walking through the line in the offices, and I thought it was hysterical. My kids are like, I don't get it. So we had to come home and watch those movies because they had never seen E.T. I know, mom fail. And they had never seen Men in Black. So then they were like, oh, yeah, I get it now. But those two parks, unless you have tall kids who love thrill rides, or older kids, there's not a lot for young families. Now let's go to Epic. This is where I think they have leveled the playing field because most of your rides are family coasters. You bring your park bags on the ride with you. So no stupid little lockers. And the few lockers that they do require there's like 3 or 4 rides, I think. They're not these little skinny lockers like you see in Universal and IOA. They're bigger lockers like what you have for Tron. So you can have a full backpack. You can have, a diaper bag or whatever you want to bring, and you're going to be able to put those in the lockers. I was very happy about that. Going back to my list. All right. And the IPs which is your intellectual property in Epic. Super Nintendo World, you are in the video game. It's amazing. I'm not a game person and I could spend a full day there. I can't even, it's mind blowing. I swear I have video. I will put it up on my channel at some point. I'm just not sure when that's going to happen. And then Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon. The character interactions alone I mean, we didn't interact with the characters, but we would walk by and we saw other people interacting, and I have seen a lot of interactions online, and I'm telling you, that is worth standing in line for. If you've got kids that don't want to ride rides or they're a little concerned, the character interactions alone are going to be worth the price of admission. Look up some of those. And even over in Dark Universe, the monsters are not scary, and you do have the minstrel, and they're telling their story and like how they came to be. So if you're not familiar with those monsters, you have a history and you have a background, and I don't feel like kids would be afraid of those. Now, Monsters Unchained and even the Werewolf, Revenge of the Werewolf coaster, that's another story. We'll get to that in a minute, I promise. But I feel like you don't have to be a Harry Potter fan and just have an excuse to bring your kids to Epic, because it's not just Harry Potter. You've got these two other mega lands that are completely immersive, and they're amazing, and kids are going to go crazy. And I even saw, I think I saw a reel of some guy taking a picture with Bowser, I think it was, or Mario and Luigi, and he's like, "This is my childhood," and this little kid's down at his knees and not even in a selfie. I thought that was great. All right. So here's something if you're planning a trip. The signature hotels is confusing on the Universal website. Helios is a signature hotel but not a premier hotel, which seems crazy to me. Like, it's in the park. You literally walk out the door and you are in Epic Universe. So why it's not a premier hotel with the free express passes, I don't know. Nobody asked me my opinion, right? And there are 5 signature hotels, but only 3 of them give you free express passes, and they are not doing free express passes for Epic. I have heard that you can purchase express passes, and when we went there, we were testing out express passes. I mean, we just had a card, but we were testing out the whole system. They are taking pictures of you, and the way it's supposed to work is once you scan the card on the first ride with your express pass, they're going to catch a picture of your face, and then you're not going to need to show your card after that, because it's going to see that you have an express pass. That wasn't totally working, but again, technical rehearsal, right? So give them grace and keep your card handy. But you've got Hard Rock and Portofino Bay, and the other one that I always forget is a signature premiere, and those will give you express passes for Universal and IOA, but not for Epic. I have heard that you can purchase express passes for Epic, but I wasn't able to find it on my phone on the website, because I was looking for ticket prices, and even like in September when the tickets are the cheapest, it's still super blazing hot, and it's hurricane season, so it could be, it could be a gamble to come in September, but that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I need to save up, because I do want to take all 3 of my kids back to Epic. I just got to save up, so I haven't bought any tickets yet. But Helios is like $200 more than the Hard Rock Cafe on those dates that I was looking in September, but you don't get express passes. I don't understand. And I could not find express passes for Epic on my phone on the Universal website. So you might have to use a laptop or a desktop if you are interested in purchasing express passes for Epic. All right. Did that. Oh, Universal is testing out a virtual queue for some attractions at Epic Universe. Ministry of Magic is there's one that they are testing out, and I've heard that they might put a couple others on a virtual queue. It does not work the same as Disney, and it wasn't totally working the way it was supposed to work. I will say that. So if you're planning on going to Epic and you're thinking, well, if you're planning on going to Epic that's something you need to research. You need to find out how their virtual queue is working after it opens. Like, don't look now because it's not. So after it opens, you want to kind of get the feel. It's going to be the same as Disney. Like, you've got to understand how to get into this virtual queue, or you are not getting on those attractions. There are no standby queues. It's only a virtual queue. Right now, it's only Ministry of Magic. There might be others added once the park opens, or even a little bit before the park opens. So keep your ears open for that one. And I'm not going to know. I'm just going to see the vloggers on YouTube just like you. So I know I'm not really promoting my channel here, but I'm just being honest with you. All right. If you're planning a trip to Epic, there is no shade in this park. It is hot and there is no shade. Samara and I have been talking about, like, what would we do if we go back, when we go back, because we're totally going back. When we go back, what would we do? First of all, we did not get to see either one of the shows, and we really wanted to. You are going to need to be in line for the circus over in the Wizarding World a full hour before the show starts. When we were there, they were having shows every hour, which was great. We show up 30 minutes before the show time, and we missed it. They were at capacity. So I would, once the show starts, I would get in line for the next show. You can go, let the kids do some spells. You can just sit in line, grab some snacks, grab some food, but sit there for the hour so that you definitely get to see that show. That's one thing that I will do when we go back, hopefully in September. And I cannot speak to the other show over in Isle of Berk because we didn't even try that one. Monsters Unchained in Dark Universe. That I will not let Emily and Jaden, I will not recommend. I mean, they're 12 and 14. I will not recommend that Emily and Jaden ride that. It's the ride itself, you're like strapped down to a board basically, and you're being turned all around so you can get a full view of the room, and there are several jump scares. And I'm not going to spoil anything for you, which I know people already have, but there are several jump scares, so I would not recommend that my kids go and ride that because of the jump scares. I felt like I was in the movie Van Helsing. So if that's a little too scary for your kids, or if they're not quite old enough for something like that, I would not let them ride Monsters Unchained. I wouldn't do it. The werewolf one, I think it's Revenge of the Werewolf. It's an outdoor coaster. It's a family coaster. It's a lot of fun. There is a werewolf. I don't know if he's supposed to jump out at you or not. He did not jump out at us. So that one I would double check with people who are doing POV rides, and spoiling it for everybody. Find out if he's supposed to jump out, because that also might be scary. But the coaster itself was fun. Because there's no shade, I would recommend doing like Isle of Berk or Super Nintendo World in the morning, and maybe Isle of Berk over Super Nintendo World. There was only 3 rides that we did not get to ride when we were there, and that was Yoshi's, so it's kind of like the People Mover, but it is outside, it's up top, it's full sun, like there's no shade there. The other 2 rides are like, at least the queues are indoors, and the one is completely indoors. And the other one's a coaster, but at least the queue is mostly indoors. And they've set that up really well. It's amazing. The queue itself is amazing. We were even told with our express passes, like, it's fine that you're riding this ride, and it was the virtual one. I can't even remember what it was, but it was like you're playing Mario Kart, and you've got this virtual visor, and you're in the car, and you're shooting at things. I didn't even know what I was doing. But we were told by the team member, TM, in case I say that later, to come back and look through the line, especially the library, because there's so many fun details in there. We got to see part of it going through the express line, but we didn't get the full effect. So that was a recommendation. Like, go through the line on that one. And I totally would, because it looked like it was set up really well and a lot of fun details. But in Super Nintendo World, definitely buy everyone a power-up band. Just give them all your money now, honestly. Just give them all your money. There are games in Super Nintendo World that you can all play together. Only one person has to start the game, but if you win, everybody gets to collect the key. And there are 3 games. They are also still outside. There might be... No, there was 1 outside and there was 2 indoors. But if you win and you collect all 3 keys, then there's another game you play against Bowser, and that one everybody has to have 3 keys and everybody has to have a power-up band to play that game. So definitely get everybody a power-up band. It's worth the money. And if you have a Switch, you can hook it up to your Switch and you can do different things. The app as well, when you hook up your power-up band to your Universal app, there's extra activities and games that you can play as well. So that might be something to keep the kids entertained, especially if you want to like go through Dark Universe and they don't really want to see characters or whatever. You can just kind of... And I would use the child swap on Monsters Unchained for sure. The one thing I would not necessarily recommend is buying everybody a 2nd generation wand in Wizarding World. And here's why. They only have 2 different styles of 2nd gen wands, and each style comes in 2 different colors. So already, family of 5, somebody's getting a duplicate one. And they were okay. I didn't bring mine out here. Samara and I did buy new wands. But I would say if you're just not in love with the style, I would get 1 or 2 maybe for your family and you can share them. The spells are fun. We didn't do a lot of the spells, but we did do some of the spells in Wizarding World there at Epic. But all of the spells in Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade have been upgraded to work with the 2nd gen wands. So that's where, especially if you're not a Florida resident and you still have to buy 3 days at Universal, where 1 is Epic and 2 of them are over at, either Volcano Bay or IOA or Universal. If you have a 2nd gen wand, you can check out some of the new spells. I would say that was worth it to do. So hit the shows and hit the rides that have the inside queues during your heat of your day. Get in there early. Definitely, you have so many options. You have Dockside, you have Endless Summer, which has Surfside and Dockside, Cabana Bay, and both the Terra Luna and Stella Nova are both value resorts. So you're going to have a hotel room for probably $150 or less. And there are family suites at Endless Summer. I think Cabana Bay also has a family suite, but we've stayed at the Endless Summer family suites where you have 3 queen beds and a picnic table and a small fridge. It's awesome. You only have 1 bathroom, but definitely worth it. And then you get early entry and you get the bus, and it's not like Disney with the value resorts when you're at Universal. You are 5 minutes from any park because everything is right there. Where if you stay at Disney's value resorts, it could take you 45 minutes to an hour to get to any of the parks. So definitely stay on property at Universal. You get early entry during the day, during the heat of the day. Watch the shows, eat your dinner, eat your quick service. There's several quick service locations that have inside dining, which was fabulous. And go to those rides that have that very large indoor queue. Worth it. So much fun. I still would say bring your snacks to Universal, even though there's all kinds of new restaurants and all kinds of new foods. The foods are very highly themed. So they're a little special. Like we were in, where were we at? We ate at Wizarding World. We tried to eat the creperie and they were out of crepes by the time we got there. So we went to a German type restaurant, and we love eating in Germany at Epcot. Samara will frequently get a brat in Germany at Summerfest. But this one, I mean, I guess you could take stuff off of it, but you had the smoked beer brat, and yes, it tasted a little bit like alcohol. I mean, you're not gonna have any issues, but you just have that flavor, you know what I mean? The hops flavor. And it was in a pretzel bread. It had caramelized onions on it, which were nice and sweet, but there was a lot of them, and then beer cheese. And I can't remember what it came with. Oh, I guess it came with fries, or you could get a salad. So that was kind of nice. You could have a side salad for your side. The other place we ate at, I think, was in Celestial Park. And yeah, because it was like meteor sandwiches or something like that. And I got a burger, but it had whiskey bacon jam on it, and it was supposed to have beer cheese. It didn't come with beer cheese. That's one of those technical rehearsal things. We are giving them grace. So just a little different, little special. And if you've got picky eaters, they may not be all that excited about it. And since you can bring big bags, I would definitely bring snacks for the queues when you're cooling off. Bring your water bottles. There's freestyles everywhere. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Samara and I loved Epic. And I'm really happy that you have hung out with my 27 minutes of talking about Epic. I just had a lot to say, a lot on my mind. And I hope you have an amazing vacation. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, would you please do that? Send me a like, write some comments. I would love to hear from you. I would love to answer your questions. And share this video to your friends who are planning a trip to Epic as well. And like I said, I will put more out about Epic, and I will share my footage, but I'm going to wait until May 22nd when it officially opens. I don't think I'll get anybody in trouble, but I just want to be on the safe side. And I would not necessarily watch any POVs to spoil your trip, except for those few things I would keep my ear out about. How many rides are on the virtual queue and how do you use it? I just said it. Oh, the werewolf, Revenge of the Werewolf. Does the werewolf jump out at you? And I, for the love, I thought there was another one and I can't even remember what it was. But ask questions. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you on my next video. I don't even know how to do this. See, this is how I don't do this. Hi from Kenya. Tony, or just use your imagination, said go into the wild and let kids instead. Okay, thank you, Tony. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. I do not know how to turn this off. I think I just exit. Yes.